Have you ever noticed how once something enters your mind, you start seeing it everywhere? You think about changing careers, suddenly opportunities appear. You start worrying about money. Suddenly, everything feels expensive. You feel unsafe and the world begins to look hostile. It feels almost mystical, as if reality itself is responding to your thoughts. But here's the unsettling question. Is reality actually changing? Or is your mind changing what it allows you to see? Because once you understand the answer, manifestation stops feeling magical and starts feeling dangerously practical. So let's ask the question clearly. If belief doesn't command reality, what exactly is it doing inside the mind? This video is about the missing mechanism. Not slogans. Not affirmations. Not fantasy. But the quiet, invisible process through which belief shapes perception. And perception shapes behavior. And behavior shapes outcomes. By the end of this video, you won't feel empowered in a superficial way. You'll feel oriented. And orientation is far more powerful. Let's begin. The brain was never meant to show you reality. Your brain does not show you the world as it is. It never has. It shows you a filtered version optimized for survival, not truth. At any given moment, your senses are taking in millions of bits of information. If you were conscious of all of it, you'd be paralyzed. So the brain makes a decision for you. It asks, what matters? What is relevant? What can be ignored? Belief plays a crucial role here. What you believe is important becomes visible. What you believe is irrelevant fades into the background. This is why two people can live in the same city, the same economy, the same world, and experience completely different realities. One sees opportunity. Another sees threat. One sees meaning. Another sees futility. Not because the world is different, but because their filters are. Ancient philosophers understood this intuitively. Epictetus said, "People are disturbed not by things, but by the views they take of them." He wasn't denying reality. He was describing perception. And modern neuroscience agrees. Your experience of life is not a mirror. It's a model. Belief is a filter, not a force. This is where manifestation teachings almost get it right, and then miss. Belief is not a force that bends the universe. It's a lens that selects experience. When you believe the world is hostile, your brain prioritizes threats. When you believe you are incapable, your brain notices evidence of failure. When you believe change is possible, your brain begins scanning for pathways. This happens automatically, not consciously. not spiritually, biologically. Neuroscience calls this selective attention. Your brain highlights what confirms your internal model and quietly discards what doesn't. This is why belief feels powerful. Not because it creates reality, but because it determines what reality you engage with. This is also why belief can be dangerous. If your internal model is distorted, your experience will be too. The brain doesn't ask whether a belief is true. It asks whether it's useful. And usefulness in evolutionary terms has nothing to do with happiness. Why some people manifest and others don't. This explains something many people secretly wonder about. Why does manifestation seem to work for some and fail miserably for others? It's not moral superiority. It's not spiritual alignment. It's feedback loops. When belief leads to different attention, different decisions, different actions. Those actions produce different results. And those results reinforce belief. A loop forms. Success strengthens confidence. Confidence increases engagement. Engagement creates opportunity. From the outside, it looks like magic. From the inside, it's momentum. But here's the uncomfortable truth. The same mechanism works in reverse. Belief in helplessness reduces action. Reduced action limits outcomes. Limited outcomes confirm helplessness. This is not punishment. It's pattern. And until the pattern is seen clearly, it feels like fate. This is why telling someone to just think positively is useless. It ignores the system. Now, here's the critical question this raises. If belief shapes perception, and perception shapes behavior, how do you work with this system without lying to yourself? How do you change patterns without slipping into delusion? How do you align belief with reality, not fantasy? That's where most modern teachings fail. And that's exactly what the final video is about. Ancient discipline, modern science. Ancient traditions were careful for a reason. The Stoics practiced premeditatio malorum, imagining difficulty, not to be negative, but to stay grounded. Buddhist monks observe thoughts without identifying with them, not to escape reality, but to see it clearly. They understood something subtle. You don't control the mind by force. You train it through exposure, honesty, and repetition. Modern neuroscience mirrors this. Neural pathways strengthen with use. Attention reinforces circuits. Repetition builds default responses. No magic. No shortcuts. Just systems. When you understand this, something shifts. You stop blaming yourself for not believing hard enough. You stop chasing mental states as if they were solutions. Instead, you begin working with reality. Patiently, intelligently, compassionately. Not controlling life. Participating in it. In the final video of this series, we'll bring everything together. Belief, action, reality. We'll explore how to align them without delusion, how to live grounded without becoming cynical, and how to create change without lying to yourself. This is where clarity becomes practice. Watch the final video when you're ready. This is part 3 of a 4-part Luminous Soul series. If this resonated, revisit the earlier videos. They will land differently now. Understanding compounds.